like to say, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was an auto pen maybe that allowed it to happen, and it did happen. But we also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York, and they're not accidents.
We have such a glorious, magnificent republic. We do such dishonor to everybody who came before, not just the heroes that we know, but the millions of unknowns who have done so much bled, sacrifice for our country. Oh, you're going to love this video. I have a lot to share with you today. President Trump responding to the communist socialist mayoral candidate who just announced he has won the primary. So he is going to be the Democrat nominee. He's going to be the nominee for mayor of New York City. And if you know, like I do, New York City is heavy radical left because they keep electing these guys time and time again. Their city proves it. This guy's going to probably end up being mayor of New York City. Trump visited Alligator Alcatraz. Oh my God, I can't wait to share this with you. It wasn't a real kind of hullabaloo or a ton of footage, but I've got some great clips for you. The big, beautiful bill passes the Senate. It's headed back to the House. I'm going to talk about that as well. Also, a surprise announcement from Trump. You're going to love it. I'm going to share that with you. But first, we have to cover this. This man, Mamdani, I've got some new footage. This video went absolutely viral. And then I'm going to also share with you what Trump says he's going to arrest Mamdani. Oh, it's beautiful. This is exactly what is this what you voted for? That clip that I just shared with you and all the stuff that I've been sharing with you. Let me know in the comments. Just say yes in the comments right now if this is what you voted for. This video has been making the rounds, and it is just, it sends chills up my spine, but it needs to be shared. This is a viral video of Zohran Mamdani. Again, this is the guy who is probably like 80% chance, if Eric Adams doesn't somehow come through, this guy has an 85% chance of becoming the next mayor of New York City, which is going to spell doom for not just New York, but it's going to send a message to the rest of the nation. We just don't want this guy. Listen to him right here talk about, I have to share this, seizing the means of production. I can't believe in the United States of our America, this glorious republic in 2025, we've got somebody like this who wasn't even born here, who's only been a citizen for 7 years, touting this. Watch.
What the purpose is about this entire project, it's not simply to raise class consciousness, but to win socialism. And obviously raising class consciousness is a critical part of that. But making sure that we have candidates that both understand that and are willing to put that forward at every which moment that they have, at every which opportunity that they're given. We have to continue to elect more socialists. And we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. There are also other issues that we firmly believe in, whether it's BDS, right? Or whether it's the end goal of seizing the means of production, where we do not have the same level of support at this very moment. And what I want to say is that it is critical that in the way that we organize, in the way that we set up our work and our priorities, that we do not leave any one issue for the other, that we do not meet a moment and only look at what people are ready for, but that we are doing both of these things in tandem. Because it is critical for us to both meet people where they're at and to also organize for what is correct and for what is right, and to ensure that over time we can bring people to that issue. The ramifications of victory here is the difference between life and death for so many of our brothers, sisters, and family beyond the binary across this borough of Queens. It's the difference between having cash bail anymore or not. It's the difference between having sex work be decriminalized and not. And with every battle that we fight as socialists, we need to remember what the stakes are and ground ourselves in them and why those stakes are important and critical to us as individuals.
It's beyond terrifying. He wants to seize the means of production. He wants more socialists, more socialism, more communism in the United States of America after we all made our voices resoundingly clear on November 5th, 2024, that this is the exact opposite. Think about it. This is the exact opposite of what the majority of Americans want. Never mind the silent majority. Probably how many people didn't vote who don't want this, right? He won every single swing state. He won the popular vote, the first time Republicans won the popular vote in God knows how many decades. This is a direct rebuke. And that cringe, I mean, this guy is Karl Marx's wet dream come true. And that cringy smile, there is no doubt in every fiber of my being, this guy is getting paid. He is a puppet. He is a Soros, Obama, deep state front runner, just a front, essentially. He's getting paid somehow on the back end because socialism, think about this, has never worked in the history of mankind. It has always led to tyranny, oppression, true authoritarianism, famine, economies falling. Look what happened to Cuba with Castro. Somebody compared him to like a smooth talking Castro. He is, I'm telling you, he is Karl Marx's personification. It has never worked. But somehow, some way, for some reason, these impressionable young people, it's always the impressionable young people, and then the puppeteers are the ones who already got the bank. They already got the money. They just want control. It's always next time it'll work. Next time it'll work. Don't worry, but this time we've got it down. Holy mackerel, this is so scary. He also tripled down. Listen to this. I can't believe this. I mean, it has to be shared. You might be saying, Nez, we get it. We don't, no. It has to be shared. Don't worry. I'm going to share with you the amazing Trump stuff very, very shortly. But he also tripled down on Meet the Press on taxing white neighborhoods because it creates, quote, a system of fairness. This is 2025, y'all. This is not some crazy hippie from the 60s. This is not 100 years ago. This is not something straight out of Karl Marx's era. This is 2025. Somebody like this who is going to be the next mayor of New York City. Watch.
You went on your website and realized there's a policy proposal that says your plan, and I'm going to quote it for folks, is to shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods. Explain why you are bringing race into your tax proposal.
That is just a description of what we see right now. It's not driven by race. It's more of an assessment of what neighborhoods are being undertaxed versus overtaxed. We've seen time and again that this is a property tax system that is inequitable. It's one that actually Eric Adams ran on saying that he would change in the first 100 days. He's since sought to defend it and lost at every juncture in court.
And I understand you're saying we're simply describing the types of neighborhoods that would see these increase in taxes. And yet by invoking race, do you run the risk of potentially alienating key constituents?
I think I'm just naming things as they are. And ultimately, the thing that motivates me in this is to create a system of fairness. It is not to work backwards from a racial assessment of neighborhoods or our city. Rather, it's to ensure that we actually have an equal playing field. And right now, what we see with the property tax system is one that is overtaxing a number of New Yorkers and undertaxing others, and an inability of political will to resolve that.
So no plans to change that language on your website?
The focus here is to actually ensure a fair property tax system, and that the use of that language is just an assessment of the nation.
Before we get to the amazing clips from Trump, and I've got some breaking news too about what the DHS is going to do about CNN, which is just, you're going to love that. Let's just hear it from somebody who actually has been through communism. Listen to this lady right here. This is an amazing clip. Watch this.
He is a full-fledged communist. I don't know whether the New York voters understand what it means. That seize means of production. That means abolish private property. That means the state will take over businesses, capital, land, and the resources. And that's the place I came from. I shopped in the government-owned grocery store. And what it is like, long line, ration, and empty shelf. And I lived in a government-granted housing. My family of 5 had 1.5 room, and we were lucky because we share bathroom with 4 other families. Others, they have an outhouse. And I grew up in the, and I endured the educational system that required that every day we raise our class consciousness. And what that means is to follow the party line. And I escaped that world. I came here for freedom. And if America falls, all of us have no place to go. New Yorkers, you have to wake up. I'm so glad President Trump sees through it and call him a communist. He is a communist.
Nothing like somebody who's actually experienced communism to tell you the truth about what it is. I mean, why are all these people coming into our country? I mean, if you love these socialistic, tyrannical, authoritarian government does everything for you, why are you here in America? That's the exact antithesis of what America stands for. Okay, I can't wait to get your comments on that. I love that. She escaped from Mao's China oppression back when the great dictator was around. Okay, so this is what I love. I want to share this really quickly. Check this out because I've got so much to say, but look at what the White House posted. I want to just show you this amazing image right here. Look at how awesome that is. Alligator Alcatraz, make America safe again. So Trump visited Alligator Alcatraz today. I've got some funny clips that you're going to love. Even him saying that Biden tried to put me here, which is classic. But here's what I just want to say about this. Ron DeSantis built this amazing state-of-the-art modern facility that abides by the will of the American people. What do you mean, as it abides by the will of the American people? Because he's supporting Trump as opposed to Newsom and all these other ridiculous governors who are trying to, quote unquote, Trump-proof their state and sue Trump and waste more taxpayer dollars and defy the will of the people. This is what, I mean, we should make America Florida. We should make California Florida. This guy built this state-of-the-art detention center. I'm going to share with you some clips in just a second. And Gavin Newsom, it's taken him 20 years to blow billions and billions of dollars on a high-speed railway that has yet to see a single track. By the way, we're coming up on the 6-month anniversary of the worst LA fire disaster in the history of California in the Pacific Palisades. Not one home has started rebuilding. Make California Florida. This guy built a detention center in less than a week. Watch this.
Our viewers at home should note that this is air-conditioned facility, yes, so if any of the news claims are keeping them out in the hot, humid South Florida, that is wrong. It's probably 62 degrees here,
to be honest.
or 72.
Hey, yep. Biden wanted me in here, okay? He wanted me. It didn't work out that way, but he wanted me in here. That son of a...
And then Trump, after visiting this amazing place, he said this, which is, I just think is so amazing to me. You've got the liberals just in an uproar, losing their stuff. Trump says, because of the violence and criminality, he made this announcement. I've seen, due to the open border policy of sleepy Joe Biden, in particular allowing millions of people into our country who shouldn't be here, I wanted something representative to show how we fight back. And then it happened. I saw a picture of Alcatraz looking so foreboding, and I said, we're going to look into renovating and rebuilding the famous Alcatraz prison, sitting high on the bay, surrounded by sharks. What a symbol it is and will be. Conceptual work started 6 months ago, and various prison development firms are looking at doing it with us. Still a little early, but lots of promise. I don't know about you, but that's exactly what I voted for. And then here's this breaking news right here. So I don't know if you guys heard this story, but CNN was caught promoting this app that helps criminal aliens evade ICE arrests. And then I want to share this clip from Alligator Alcatraz of Trump saying that, you know what? We're not going to stand for that. Watch this.
Madam Secretary, CNN yesterday pushed an app that lets you track where ICE agents are. Tom Homan was saying that perhaps CNN should be prosecuted for that as obstruction of law enforcement. Your response?
Yeah, we're working with the Department of Justice to see if we can prosecute them for that, because what they're doing is actively encouraging people to avoid law enforcement activities, operations, and we're going to actually go after them and prosecute them with the partnership of PAM if we can, because what they're doing, we believe, is illegal.
And they may be prosecuted also for having given false reports on the attack in Iran.
Yes.
They were given totally false reports. It was totally obliterated, and our people have to be celebrated, not come home and say, what do you mean we didn't hit the target? We hit the target prison. You know, the pilots came home and they said, we hit the target prison. So they may be very well prosecuted for that. What they did there we think is totally illegal. Okay, let's go. Follow us. Hi, Brian.
We've got new reports here. This is coming after, I can't believe this absolute disaster, abysmal corporate press. We've got new reports that ICE agents, you have all these ridiculous hypocrites, aka Democrats. Why are they masking themselves? Why are they in unmasked vehicles? The attacks that have happened on federal ICE agents who are simply carrying out the orders of the American people, you and me, we all voted for this, have seen a 700% increase in attacks, death threats, veiled threats, every kind of threat to their lives, jeopardizing their families, their well-being, etc., etc. The attacks on ICE agents has jumped 700%. And it wouldn't be anywhere near that if it wasn't for this corporate propaganda press, the mainstream media, and these ridiculous treasonous hypocrites, aka Democrats, who truly, I believe in my heart, hate America. Period. Here's a beautiful clip of Trump asking the DOJ into looking into arresting Alejandro Mayorkas. You're going to love this.
Why hasn't he been arrested yet? Obviously you guys are cleaning up the mess that was made deliberately for the past 4 years, and so people want accountability. It's great to see that the border is secured, and it's great to see the state level cooperation. But I guess I would ask you, why hasn't he been held accountable, or anybody really?
Well, pardons were given out by to many people, and they shouldn't have been given out. Like the Unselect Committee of Political Thugs was given a pardon because they destroyed all of the information from 2 years of hearings, and they should be arrested, but they were given pardons. Was he given a pardon, Mayorkas? Was he not?
I don't believe so.
Well, I'd take a look at that one, because what he did is it's beyond incompetence. Something had to be done. Now, with that being said, he took orders from other people, and he was really doing the orders, and you could say he was very loyal to them, because it must have been very hard for him to stand up and sit up and talk about what he allowed to happen to this country and be serious about it. So he was given orders. If he wasn't given a pardon, I could see looking at that. In fact, why don't you take a look at it, Kristen? He was impeached, but yeah, it was just a fake impeachment. It was a fake impeachment. Why don't you take a look at it? I think he was so bad. They were all so bad. Look, it was the worst president in the history of our country. We've had some bad ones, but he was the worst president. But somebody told Mayorkas to do that, and he followed orders, but that doesn't necessarily hold him harmless. So take a look at it. It's a very good question, actually. Thank you.
I would just add there, it doesn't matter if he was taking orders from anybody. He took an oath to the United States of America to protect, to serve American interests. And there is no way in a billion years anybody can convince me. It's an insult to legal immigrants. My parents were immigrants in the 70s. It's an insult to all hard-working, law-abiding, tax-paying immigrants. My brother and I were born and raised here in the greatest country on planet Earth. It's an insult to all the hardworking immigrants what Biden, Mayorkas, Kamala did, laying out the red carpet and letting in millions and millions of people. It doesn't matter if he was taking orders. You took an oath, Alejandro. And by the way, you reap what you sow. Justice is coming very soon for you, pal, and hopefully for a lot of all your pals. Okay, here is Trump now saying, oh, Zohran, you want to defy federal law? You want to defy ICE? You want to defy the Constitution? Watch this.
Your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zohran Mamdani, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zohran Mamdani?
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. We send him money. We send him all the things that he needs to run a government. And by the way, they get about 3 times what you get, Ron. If you look at the per capita, Florida gets 1/3 of what New York gets in terms of the numbers. Why don't you give us those numbers?
Yeah, well,
because that's what we should send him.
Yeah, well, like sometimes people say Florida gets more because they count Social Security recipients, but that's not money to the state. Those are seniors that live here. If they moved to North Carolina, you could count it there. So it has no interaction with the state government. They get more in the city and state governments than we get.
Right, substantially. We're going to be watching that very carefully, and a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. He's, we're going to look at everything, and ideally. He's going to turn out to be much less than a communist. But right now, he's a communist. That's not a socialist.
And if you needed any more proof, here is Zohran Mamdani. I love this clip, probably my favorite clip, besides Trump saying, we're going to have to arrest him, probably, quite frankly, very soon. I love you, Mr. President. This socialist anarchist moron, this was covered by Crowdsource The Truth. Zohran participated in an economic assault against Tesla. And I want you to watch this very carefully. His cringy, grotesque, cowardly smile when the guy confronts him and saying, why are you attacking a New York City business? Why do you want to force it to shut it down? Do you think that this is what the Constitution allows, is for you to disrupt, destroy a small business in your very own city that you want to be mayor? Watch this.
You're running for mayor? Yes. Isn't this not First Amendment activity, shutting down a business 3 weeks in a row? How many New York City businesses could tolerate to close their location 3 weeks in a row? This is an economic attack on Tesla. How can you sanction this? You will never be mayor. This is not the use of the First Amendment. This is, step away from me. Don't advance towards me like that. Yeah, you did. You just came up to me in a threatening manner and you're advancing towards me. Back up.
This will be unequivocally the worst thing that's ever happened to New York City. And now you've got all of these radical hypocrites, not even radical, all of them are jumping on board because they're so desperate to cling to a W. They got the worst, lowest approval ratings in the history of their party, and they really don't have anything. This is like the only strand of hope they have. So they are going to milk it for all it's worth. You got Hakeem Nobody's Dream, Schumer, Bill Clinton, top brass of the Democratic caucus, celebrating, congratulating this guy on a socialist communist campaign in the United States of America in the year of our Lord, 2025. Please, it doesn't cost you a thing. This video needs to go viral. Tap that thumbs up. Share this with somebody you know. You could even do it on your TV if you're watching it on remote. Just tap that thumbs up, share it, text it to somebody, whatever you have to do, share it on social media. The truth needs to come out about this guy. This guy is nothing more than an absolute BS artist extraordinaire who usurps and passes Newsom, Kamala. I mean, he's the best I've seen as far as like BS artists in the realm of politics. I'm begging you, please tap it, share it, do what you need to do. We need people to be informed. We need to make common sense go viral. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you love America, please do that. Don't forget to check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's free. Also, our free newsletters in the pinned comment and in the description. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the United States and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.